Hi, my loves. Jeray Malay, girl from around the way, where we have culture, conversation, and community. And in today's video, I'm coming to you all with some commentary, y'all. I was on the TikTok Talk, and I like TikTok a lot. I'm over there now. I feel like Instagram, I don't know. My focus is on TikTok right now. So if you haven't already, make sure you go follow me over on the TikTok. It's been fun. So I'm over on TikTok and I'm minding my business, and naturally the algorithm is going to do what the algorithm does. So they send all of these videos about, you look younger than who? Millennials, they look younger than who? And then there's like multiple women coming on, who are obviously millennials, and they're showing their skin, and, they're doing all of these things like this. And then the, Gen Zers are coming on saying, girl, you look old. Girl, you sound like you got Newport voice, which right now, listen, y'all know I'm a millennial. I don't smoke no fucking Newports though. Okay? And the Gen Zers are like dragging. They're like, girl, these millennial girls think that they look so young because there was this article that said that Gen Zers are rapidly aging and they look older. This guy went viral earlier for saying that he was a Gen Zer and he always gets mistaken to be a middle-aged man. I'll play that video here.
Gen Z is like aging really rapidly.
It is mainly because of the stress. Come here. We live in a time nowadays where millennials look way younger for their age, while Gen Z looks way older for their age. If you don't believe me, I'm Gen Z. Get closer. I am Gen Z and nobody ever believes me. When my mom and I walk out in public, people think that my mom is my younger sister.
And, that video was funny and it was cute, but I feel like now the things are kind of going above and beyond. The girls are really getting upset. I kind of fell victim to, that too, when it was just all fun and games. If y'all follow me, if you subscribe, then you know that you'll see like a reel that I had posted. It was a lady who was like, oh, this is what 32 years of age looks like. And y'all, I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. She also wasn't of the melanated group. I'll just leave you right there. And she must live somewhere near the sun. But I was doing that in fun shade and light shade. This is skincare is something that I talk about often. Make sure you moisturize in an upward motion and don't forget your neck. That's just one thing that my grandma has always taught me. So I always say it. I don't mean it to be out here like, oh, these Gen Zers look so old and da 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 da, to the point where I'm going off and posting stuff on Instagram and TikTok about how these Gen Zers look so old and us millennials. Like, that's so unserious to me. And I posted my little 2 cents over there, but I really kind of wanted to get into some of these videos. So I'll play them here.
Millennials look younger than who?
I'm 34. We can tell.
Millennials, that y'all look younger than us Gen Z.
It's true. Greg found out that Larry was paying me off, and he said he was firing me. And I did go.
Younger millennials really do need to be considered a different generation. Aside from the fact that there's absolutely nothing that I have in common with someone in their 40s, there are a few other reasons as to why we should be considered our own generation. One of which being, remember when millennials were like hated in the workforce? Like, people would talk so much crap about millennials. People like, oh my gosh, these millennials, they don't want to do this, they don't want to work. I was not in the workforce at that time. I was still in school, okay? I was still begging my mom for a Facebook. I was not the millennials they were speaking of. That was not my life. Also, I don't have a boomer mom. Like, my mom is not a boomer. My mom is Gen X. I had a Gen X mom, like a lot of millennials born in the mid to late 90s. We did not have boomer parents. I don't know. I think there should be a petition for us to have a different name, Let me know what kind of names you come up with.
As you can see, there's a variations of some of the girls really dragging it. Some of the girls are carrying. Some of the women are upset even. Like, girl, you trying to play me? Because, this and the third. Some people made valid points. Just because you have clear skin doesn't mean that you don't look older. All of these things are subjective. And I wanted to kind of have this conversation because, again, culture, conversation, and community, baby. Okay, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But y'all, there are people dying, Kim. Like, we can't be serious about this, right? Like, wherever you are under the sound of my voice, sister, listen, first of all, time is an illusion. You are as old as you look, or look at me. You are as old as you feel, is what I meant to say. Okay. There are people who are out here, doing things that young people couldn't do. Right. And I really feel like we're getting away from what it means to age. Okay. And I feel like that is a part of our culture as melanated people. Older people are revered. Older people are loved and should be beloved, right? There's nothing wrong with aging. Let's get away from these standards of, having to upkeep this unrealistic, unattainable beauty goals. Like, y'all, it's okay to age. That means you are living. There are people who went through the situation 4 years ago, the pandemic, and they are not here for real. There are people who are not here for real. And to go into a Twitter war, to go into a TikTok war, to say, oh, I look old. Oh, you look old. Oh, them skinny jeans. Oh, them wide pants. Like, come on, y'all. And I really just feel like there are a couple of girls here. Hey, young girl. It's a couple of young girls here. One thing I just never will be is an old hater. Okay? Don't you hate them old? Ain't nothing like an old hater. They at the job. They especially at the job, girl. Ooh, let me not. Maybe another time. Another time. I know a couple people like, why don't you ever do a story time, bitch? If we do a story time about the workplace trauma that I have from Black women, sickening. Y'all would think I'd be giving up like a raccoon at this point. And that's leading me into my point. Millennials and Gen Zers, we have way more in common than we don't, right? Like, we have more in common. First of all, millennials, we're doing things better. We're reparenting ourselves. We're doing things differently for our children. If we have no children, we're vacationing. We're not giving into the norms. We're prioritizing self-care and mental health. Gen Zs, y'all took that shit and ran with it. Y'all ran with it. It's a couple of people that are Gen Zs that are colleagues, and I'm like, wow, that's really like something. And I'm inspired. And they're telling things about me, and they're inspired. I feel like we should be more in cahoots than at odds, because that's what the older generations did. Think about, when hip hop came out, that generation before, oh yeah, that's so fucked up. Imagine if the millennials, only wasn't on TikTok, and they're like, oh, that's just for the little teeny boppers, which I was in that mindset before too. This is why it took me. I'm not doing that shit. That's like, I'm above that now. It's Facebook for me, which again, Facebook, it wasn't Facebook for me. It was Instagram. But y'all get the point. Like, I feel like we can learn a lot from each other. I feel like Gen Z has kind of taken the baton and like ran with it. They're doing their thing. I feel like millennials, we're doing our thing. We're doing a lot of unlearning and unpacking and reparenting, and we're doing fucking thing. And I'm not about to sit up here and show my motherfucking skin blemishes and everything like this and trying to compete with a 25-year-old. I'm just not. I'm not interested. I'm not competing with a 32-year-old, a 31-year-old. There's no competing. I'm me, you're you, whether you 15, 20, or 21. And this comes from a person who I've always, all my life, I had to fight. Okay, truth is, I'm tired. All my life, I have been told that I'm an old soul. Or people think that I was older than I was, If y'all don't know, I'm taller. I'm a taller woman, so that made me obviously give an appearance of me being more mature than what I was, and the way that I carry myself. And now that I'm getting older, it's like, so do y'all think I'm really, really old? But then again, it's like, I don't really care, because I've always had that label of having an old soul. And that to me just equated that I was a little bit more wiser. And by wiser, I'm just more tapped into my intuition. And that's a blessing. I want to grow old. I want to grow older. I want to grow old. Okay, let me change that shit up real quick, because words of power, baby. I want to thrive and have a beautiful life at every stage in my human experience. Whether Gen Z, whether millennial, I don't give a good goddamn. I want to live my life fully. Able body, able mind, and enjoy myself at every stage. Wide pant leg, skinny pant leg, office attire at the club. I don't care. And I really feel like we should focus in on that. Now, some of the girls are really pissed off, the Gen Zers, because they're like, oh, we don't look old. I think that a lot has to do with fashion. You know, when we were in our teens, we didn't have lace front wigs. If I had a full head of Brazilian wig and being my height and the things that I was into, bitch, you know, I would look older too. These girls are out here, you know, full faces of makeup, 13, 14, 15, knotless braids down to the booty crack. So, and I remember a couple of years ago, there was a YouTuber who kind of talked about how like teenagers don't have stores anymore. They're only targeting like the adult, like they go to Forever 21 just like the adults. I remember when we only had like stores for little girls, Limited 2, 973. And I do think that there is an effort to adultify our children. You know what I mean? Like, and this is me, you know, it wouldn't be right if we didn't talk about those things, but I know y'all see how, you know, the kids is drinking all these hormonal milks and now they got mustaches and they're getting, you know, periods earlier and all of these things. They're saying that it's the food and blah, 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 blah. So when I say like it, like capitalism and there are other factors, I really mean it in a way. You know, they say like, oh, pandemic babies are different. Like these kids after COVID are coming out, you know, holding their head on the first day. Like there's a such thing as evolution. Like people mature quicker. Right? I mean, I'm sure that I know that this probably sounds far-fetched, like a reach a little bit, but bitch, I know I'm onto something. I can feel it. So I really just want us to think about what we're focusing our energy on and the narrative around it. I don't want to be beefing with none of you young bitches. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't really want to listen to, who y'all be listening to? I don't know. I don't even know. But we can kiki and bust it up, sister, and you look good, and I like your makeup, and I like your outfit. What's up? It's no beef. It's no beef, baby. Never want to be an old hater. You's an old hater, you know. Never want to be that. And I feel like I always recognize people for who they are. You know, I've met some people who are way younger than I am and who are really beyond their years. I've met people who are older and honestly dumb as a brick. And I'm not talking about, you know, 1 + 1 = 2 and, you know, their you know, accessibility to education and resources. I'm talking about morally, they have no integrity. They are emotionally unintelligent. And life should have given them experiences to do that, to gain that knowledge. So shout out to the Gen Z girls who are taking care of themselves, who are looking good and, you know, doing things in a different way. Shout out to the millennial girlies and guys. I always say the girls, but you know, if you fall, you know what I mean? Like if you fall under this umbrella of the people who are doing things differently for themselves, doing things differently for their future children, for their future selves even. Girl, keep shining, keep winning, keep growing. Don't get caught up in this silly little beef. I don't care if you got some moles. I don't care if you got a lace front. I don't care if you look old, young. It's about how you're living, how you're showing up in this world. And yeah, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. All right. Let me know what y'all feel about this. I feel like I learned a lot from Gen Z and I feel like they learn a lot from me, period. It's all about an energy flow and I'm open to receive anything that's going to help me grow. And if you are a Gen Zer, you need to be in that same space because bitch, you're going to be beyond. So that's all I have for you today. Let me know. Drop down in the comments. What do you feel about this? Don't be shady. I mean, be shady because girl, we like the mesh. A little meshy. But I want to know your thoughts on this, okay? As always, I'm sending you much love and much light, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.